Hi YouTube, John here with Common Sense Outdoors. Today I want to show you how to turn your knife into a survival kit. I know a lot of people, talk about backup knives because you might lose a knife. My knife's going to be the last thing I lose. It's going to be attached to my belt, to my person. That's, in my opinion, probably the best place to put your survival kit. Is included into your knife. Keep it safe, keep it on you. You get dumped out of a canoe, whatever, it's still going to be strapped to you. So we'll get into it. I'll show you the contents of what I put into it and go through how I do it. Alright. So here is all the contents laid out. I'm using the Mora 511 on this. You could do this with any knife. And I did a video a couple weeks ago on a belt loop fix for the Mora sheath. I didn't actually show everything on how to do it, but I talked about it, and there it is when it's finished. This is a 2 1/4 inch Ranger band around that. If you just wanted to fix a belt loop and you didn't want to put anything else on this, you could just slide another Ranger band over that right there. It's never going to go anywhere. It's actually drilled and grommeted in there, and the cord goes through the grommet. And there is 3 feet, a couple inches over 3 feet of cord wrapped on that. So if you wanted to, you could undo that and throw it around your neck. The other mod that I did on that is drill the hole there and drilled the hole out in the bottom a little bigger, so that later I'll show you we're going to put paracord through that. And then on the knife itself, we've drilled out for a lanyard, and we've added it's not focusing very well, 10-cent handhole for a bow drill. Can't claim credit for that. It's a great idea. Another gentleman on YouTube, just search 10-cent bow drill and it'll come up. So then everything else we got here, this will be the fishing kit going in there, and I did a video on my survival fishing kit, talked about these pieces right here if you don't understand what those are for. 3 flies, 7 hooks, 6 split shot, 3 swivels, 30 feet of 20-pound bank line, 10 feet of 6-pound mono. This is just a little container that I made that all this stuff's going to go in and attach to the knife sheath. And if you're interested, that's just the plastic off of a 9-volt battery. When you buy it from the store, the plastic it's in, just cut that, taped it into a square. The sheath itself, after we get a bunch of stuff on there, is going to be wrapped with, it should get about 18 feet of paracord on there. One of the things that's going to be in there is a 6-inch wood sawzall blade. I've cut a strip of 2-liter bottle, folded it over to put it inside. We're going to tape that up. Some Ranger bands. We've got the one holding the sheath on, holding it to the the belt loop onto the sheath. These two will get stretched on for a place to put the fire striker. This goes on the end just to make sure the cord doesn't try to come off. This is going to be a lanyard on the knife handle, and we'll use some of that on the other end. We'll get to that later. 30 feet, 120-pound bank line. Excellent thing to have in a survival situation. We've got a 1-quart Ziploc bag, 2 water purification tablets. We're going to fold up the Ziploc bag, put it inside of this bag with those tablets. We've got here 10 pieces, 15 inches long, 50-pound wire for snare making. It would be much easier to wrap this around in one piece, but in a survival situation, I want it already cut, ready to go, and I don't have to dull my knife or anything to get it cut into the pieces I want. 15 inches, just enough to bend over your ends and make your loops, and end up with a big enough loop for rabbit-sized animals or smaller. And then you would use some of the paracord to attach it to a tree or whatever. We're going to try putting this compass on. I haven't tried this part yet. Chibi. Talk about compasses in another video, I think. Whistle buckle is going to be attached to the lanyard on the knife and to the bottom. This is what keeps the knife from having a chance to fall out. Easy to unsnap and get the knife out. 2-inch piece of sharpening stone. It's going to go in there. 3 cotton balls shoved into a little 2x2 bag. It's going to get tucked in there. Got a flint magnesium fire striker. 1 foot by 2 foot piece of tin foil folded up. A couple of safety pins and a needle. And of course we're going to use some duct tape and some black tape. Alright, let's get some stuff slid out of the way here and get you set up, and we'll get started putting this together. The idea and what I want to do here is on the back side of the sheath, we're going to end up with a bump. So I want to build up on the end, and then if I do it right, it's going to give me a place for this to set right here. And then we're going to build up with all the rest of this stuff right here, and then we'll finish it off. This should go somewhat like that across the back. Only done this once. This is the second time, so bear with me. I'm still getting it down on how to do everything. First, we're going to take our tape off of those and get those ready. I'm going to take some duct tape. You know, and if you get into the situation where you're going to get into this stuff and use it, you know, the tape that's put on there, there's uses. You know, that would make a band-aid in a survival situation. If you're bleeding and you need to stop the bleeding, you wrap it with this duct tape. You could use a cotton ball if it was bleeding real bad. Absorb. I'll probably keep checking to make sure that fits in there. Like that. Alright, let's start over on that. Mistake number 1. Sorry guys, I have a not great camera for videos. It does not flip around to where I can see. So if I'm pausing, I'm probably peeking around the corner and making sure I'm in the viewfinder. Okay, 2 safety pins and a needle. Get these eyelet screws ready. And again, I made a video survival fishing kit video. If you haven't seen that, explains everything about what I do with these, and most of you already know. You've seen the eyelet screws, the L screws, maybe not. Pretty useful item to have. So watch that other video if you don't understand what those are for. I'm going to jump over and work on this, getting this fishing kit put together real quick. On the fishing kit video, I talked about folding over this first piece of your tape when you do this, so that you don't have sticky on sticky when you fold it. You'll have a hard time getting your hooks out if you do that. 2 size 8 hooks there. Fold. Two size 10 hooks. Fold. 2 size 6 red hooks. Anybody that's done a lot of fishing knows a fish will sometimes hit a red bear hook, so there's always going to be some sort of a red hook in any kit I put together. Okay, so there's our 6 hooks in that. Another piece of tape. Again, we're going to fold over the first part. There are 3 swivels on there. Well, that's not cooperating. There you go. This kit really covers all the bases, guys. You got fishing kit, pretty elaborate. I mean, you've got everything you need in this fishing kit to catch fish. The 3 flies come in real handy, just in case you're having trouble finding bait. And I don't know how well you've seen those before, but let's see if I can get in close on them. This is one I came up with to look like a bee. Then we have a rubber-legged beetle. It's got a peacock herl body, so it's kind of glittery. It's not showing up very well. And then an elk hair caddis. Okay, so our swivels are in there. We're going to take our split shots, and these are the winged split shots, so you can take them on, put them on, take them off, reuse them. If you're getting the other kind of split shot, you're wasting your time, in my opinion. It's a one-time thing, and then you try to get it off your line with your knife, dull your knife, just get the winged ones. Okay, so there's our split shots and our swivels. So 10 feet of 6-pound mono coiled up. Stick that in the bottom. Start packing everything in there. Stick our 3 flies in there. I'm putting a 20-pound main line in there. It gets wrapped around later. Just going to tape this up. Can't go wrong with having extra tape in there. If it'll cooperate. You know, it might take you a couple minutes to get that tape off and get in there, but if you're lost, you're stranded, your ATV flipped over, or whatever the case is that you're in this situation, it's not going to hurt you at all to take a couple minutes and sit down and undo that. Seen guys talk about, oh, my survival bracelet comes apart faster. The few minutes it takes to take a survival bracelet apart is a good thing. You focus your mind onto what you're doing, you get it off of the situation you're in, you sit down, you calm down, you think. You can't beat that over rushing and panicking. Okay, so we're going to take our 10 pieces of wire, just stick this tape to them. Get them somewhat lined up. And we're just going to wrap those. Ziploc, and water tabs are trying to get away, a little windy. Go right over the top of that with some more duct tape. Not the prettiest thing yet. We're going to cover it up. Don't panic. It'll look good when we're done. Okay, see how we're starting to get that built up? Building this little flat spot right there. And that fishing kit's going to end up going in there, remember? If it all works out right. Okay, next thing we're going to do is fold up our bag. Got these little 2x2 bags. There's the cotton balls in one. Put this bag in one, just so any tape or anything, nothing's going to stick to it, nothing's going to mess this bag up. Help protect it. Water purification tablets. You know, there's the tin foil to be able to boil some water. Purification tablets would probably be my last choice. If I can drink the water or purify the water or boil the water without using these tablets, I'm going to do it. Okay, the tin foil. And the bag. We're going to go right there. Check and see how we're doing with this. Oop. We've got a lot to fill in down there yet. It's okay, because we have more stuff to put on there. This plastic that I have the saw blade in, just make sure, you know, I'm going to be wrapping all this with paracord and stuff. Make sure that those saw teeth can't hurt anything in there. I'm going to put a couple pieces over the end. Just make sure it can't fall out the end. We're just going to wrap it up. And you probably already get the idea of the saw blade. All you need is a small branch, about the size of your thumb, a little bigger maybe. Split it on the end, stick this in there. Take some of your bank line or whatever and lash around it for a handle. This will cut branches, cut you some firewood pretty well. And for the weight space, you can't hardly beat throwing one of these on here. Okay, next we're going to put on our bank line. Piece of tape, get it started. Hopefully I don't have it all tangled up. I'm going to wrap this pretty tight if I can. £120-pound bank line makes great nets. I've been making some survival kits for my son and my nephews, and they're each going to have a It's about a 14 mesh by 17 mesh square that goes around the outside. So many uses for that. Dip net. One of the coolest uses is if you're going to put a Ziploc bag for a way to carry water or get water. It's the perfect size net that you can kind of make a purse out of the net to hold your bag of water, hang it from a branch or whatever. Because if you've ever been out in the wild and tried to carry water in a Ziploc bag, you'll find out it doesn't work too well. You could also use the net for a live spring snare type bird trap. Lash it between a Y branch, use it to dip fish. Just putting a couple half hitches on the end to hold this bank line, and then I'm going to wrap part of that with black tape. Actually, I may wrap all of it. That tape's just about empty. I'll put this on nice and tight. Quite a bit of tape if you get into the situation where you're taking this apart. Could come in handy. Okay. Next we need to put on our fishing line. You know, this is probably getting pretty long. I think I'm going to stop here for a second. We'll make it a 2 or 3 parter to finish this up. So check out part 2. Hope you like what you're seeing so far. It's gonna come together. I think you'll like it. And check you out on the next one. Thanks.